Let's go! Jackson McGohan commits to LSU, and I want you to look at this catch. This is one of the best catches I have ever seen from a high school football player. I will play it for you again because it really is that freaking good. And this is a 3-star recruit. One hand mossing somebody. Are you kidding me, Jackson? This young man has a family. But anyway, really impressive stuff. So LSU gets a very intriguing tight end, wide receiver-ish kind of player at this point in the 2023 cycle. So we're going to talk about him, what I like, and what I think will be interesting for his fit for LSU going into next year. Now, who deserves a lot of credit for this recruitment? Well, obviously Mike Denbrock. This young man was committed to Cincinnati for a long time. Obviously, there was a coaching change at Cincinnati with Luke Fickell going to Wisconsin, and Jackson, of course, having a prior relationship with Mike Denbrock, who, of course, was the former offensive coordinator all the way in Cincinnati. And you see him right there. I don't know if you can hear that crowd noise. And the cutback action on him. So, obviously, you look at his catch radius as a player. That is by far the most impressive thing about this young man, is that he truly is a pure pass catcher, right? He catches a football all hands, has some wiggle in his step after he actually gets the football, and of course, the jump ball ability is probably the best asset. He is pretty polished in my estimation as a route runner. He's really good in the red zone where the field compresses, obviously, and of course, he has made every different type of catch you can imagine on his tape. So it is very impressive what he looks like as a high school player. So there is a lot to like here. Now, the next thing that will be interesting is what is his actual position, right? You have a lot of these hybrid tight end type of players where they don't have necessarily the blazing speed of a wide receiver, but they still have the size of a tight end, but they don't necessarily play tight end. You don't see on Jackson's tape a lot of inline blocking, right? Well, let's be honest, a very talented and all-time great football player recently told me this, that there's not many tight ends that can block really well, right? Tight ends play the position because they want to catch the football. So, for me, I'll put it this way, to play the tight end position, you do need to do some blocking, and obviously the better blocker you are, let's say someone like a Brock Bowers, who is obviously a very elite receiving tight end, but he's also a very capable and really, really good, honestly, blocker. Those guys are few and far between, but if Jackson is to play the tight end at the collegiate level, well, obviously the inline blocking is going to be something that is somewhat new to him. He's obviously athletic enough to play that position, and we'll see if he actually is able to translate. But yeah, I mean, the 3-star rating, I think that's not very accurate because I'm telling you, there are very few players, and I know I just started watching this kid's tape because of the decommitment that he just had from Cincinnati, but there's very few players as a receiver that has just pure catching ability quite like this guy does. So very excited about the potential of LSU bringing in this guy who just has some of the most ridiculous ball skills you'll see from a high school player. Now, how does this fit in with what LSU wants to do? Well, it's going to be interesting, once again, how they actually view him as a player, but I do think they're going to want him to play basically the Mason Taylor role in this offense. So obviously the blocking is going to be very key. Now, as far as immediate playing time is concerned, there is another tight end that LSU has committed in Mac Markway. He is more of your traditional inline tight end. So if you are doing a comparison, Mac Markway would be more of the George Kittle type, probably a little bit more of a pure blocking tight end, where Markway would be more of your Kyle Pitts type, more of a receiver than he is, what we would most view as a tight end. So, for me, he's going to come in and compete. I listened to an interview that Jackson did recently with Rivals, and he said immediate playing time is something that he really would like. So, look, he will get the opportunity to play. I've said plenty of times that I think Mason Taylor got a little fatigued because he was playing so many snaps because we really didn't have another true elite tight end on the roster. So, for me, I think immediate playing time will be there for him. It just comes down to his fit and how he develops as a player. To come along in this class with Mac Markway, that was absolutely huge. Obviously, Galloway for 2024 is locked in for LSU, and that kid loves LSU more than any recruit I think I've ever seen, especially for an out-of-stater. So, the tight end position does look pretty bright for LSU moving forward. So, man, I still just can't get over this freaking catch right here. I mean, this is just so freaking redonkulous. Oh, man. I couldn't imagine being that DB, having to go to your friends and see your friends the next day at school, and everybody would just looking at you like, yeah, we all witnessed that this past weekend. So, yeah, I hate it for that guy to be a part of that highlight. But, yeah, really excited about this kid, and hopefully we will build off of this. Now, as we always do with any commitment, we do talk about the 2023 class as a whole. It's pretty good, right? Now, of course, you would have liked a few things to go your way, but no matter how the rest of these dominoes fall, LSU is recruiting at an extremely high level for the first full cycle under Brian Kelly. And this is a reason why that Brian Kelly decided to come to LSU, because while this kid is more of a Denbrock recruit, if you will, everything else is just falling into place for LSU this cycle because of the LSU brand and because of the state of Louisiana. So this honestly is shaping out pretty daggum nicely for a really, really good crop for 2023, and hopefully LSU will continue to build on that in 2024. And obviously mix in some really key transfers and as well, and LSU's recruiting will continue to ball the freak out. So, comment down below your thoughts on this young man committing to LSU, and we'll talk to you soon, okay? It is Power Hour LSU. Bam! And tonight, we are doing what are we doing tonight? Oh yeah, some ribs. Let's go, ribs. Let's go.